My friends, thank you for being here. So, you are in the perfect simulation. We are in the perfect simulation. The perfect game. This thing's crazy, right? So, today I want to talk a little bit about the simulation and specifically the construct of it, and then how we can have some cheat codes to take our reality exactly where we want to, because that's what we want to do, right? We want to understand this game and we want to understand how to play it so we're becoming better people in general, and we're moving into a reality that we want to be in, like our ideal reality, right? So let's talk about the background a little bit first. So everything you see is an outpicturing of you. You are simply looking at a reflection of yourself. Reality is being presented to you in a summation of your thoughts, feelings, and opinions. So it's all you. And another part that I believe in, whether this is your belief or not, but I'll just present it the way I think it may be, is that we probably came into this reality with certain things we were trying to accomplish. Whether you call it karma we were trying to work out, or just things that we were trying to overcome and have perspective on. So everything you see and do in a day-to-day basis is, again, a reflection of you and also things that you're trying to build perspective on. And so that's the goal of the game, right? The goal of the simulation and reality is to continually show you things so you view this Earth 3D plane from a higher perspective, essentially where you came from. You are in this reality operating with a co-joined perspective of human and higher self, right? And so when the game shows you something positive, that's great. So that's something you resolved, you feel good about. And there's tactics we'll talk about to see more of that. And then when the game shows you something negative, at least your human mind views as negative, or your human brain, it's an area where we need to gain greater perspective or greater clarity, greater understanding. So Peter Crone, if you know him, has a great quote about this. He says, "Life presents you with people and situations to tell you where you're not free." They tell you where you're not free. That makes total sense, right? And I think about it also in another ways. Life presents you people and circumstances to tell you where you need to see things from a higher perspective, resolve things you haven't worked through. So let's get into the cheat codes, the cool stuff, right? So the first part of the first thing, and there's going to be two cheat codes here. The first thing is we have to know that we're essentially higher beings from another place, right? And our higher self operates from a place in the present moment. Where our higher self lives outside of the earth plane, where our soul is based in, there is no time, right? Time is a function of the human existence, of this reality that we're in, and it's to give us perspective and for us to be in a state of duality so we can gain that perspective more clearly. But that doesn't exist where we come from. So why that's so important is that if we can operate in this human state, in a state of presence, essentially that there is no time, then we're aligning to our higher self, which already has everything, right? Our higher self has everything we would ever want in that existence. And so if we align to that, we also in this reality have everything we want. And why that's so important is if we're in a mental state of having everything we want in the present moment, this reality will show us more of that. That's why this is such a big deal, right? So the first cheat code, game changer, is a state of presence, just like your higher self would be, bringing that into human form. The second cheat code is if everything around us is being created by our thoughts, emotions, opinion, then we know we're outpicturing that. Then how do we control that better? It's by awareness, right? So if we're aware of certain thoughts that we have that transform into certain emotions, then we can see that from the greater perspective, and we can know why our reality is outpicturing us certain things because of how our thoughts and emotions react to things, right? So if we have a positive thought or emotion, great, let's reinforce that with gratitude, feeling like we're abundant, so we get more of it, right? So we're reinforcing that positive thing. On the negative side, we're seeing things that we haven't worked out, where we're not free, where we don't have that broader perspective, right? So in those situations, we need to really think and be reflective upon why we're having these negative emotions toward these things. And a lot of times these things repeat over and over again, right? We keep seeing them. So why do we keep seeing these things, and what perspective do we need to build to get through them? So these are your two cheat codes, the two game changers. Are one, a state of presence, just like your higher self, and two, a state of awareness where we're reinforcing positive and we're working to be introspective to work through the negative things. And what this does, the crazy cool part about this is what this does is, until we get to this place where we understand reality creation and working within the game, we're always reacting to the game, right? The game's showing us things. We're having thoughts and emotions, we're reacting to it. Some things we resolve and the game adjusts and shows us better things, and some negative things we don't. And so it's always this tennis match of things that are occurring and us having thoughts and emotions. Once we work from this place, we're no longer just a player in the game, we're a player and a creator in the game. Because now we know if we can be aware of our thoughts and emotions, be in the present, we can go anywhere we want to, right? By reinforcing the things that we want to see in our mind and feeling into that place. So this is moving from simply a player in the game to a co-creator in the game through presence and awareness. Thanks for joining me. I know you're going to take this and do great things with it, and I hope it's helpful. And we'll see you next time.